Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for my June setup in my Papertess Designs B6 planner. I have this planner in my leather cover from Elysian Paper, which I am absolutely loving. And this is going to be my first plan with me in this planner, so please bear with me as I figure it out. I have been in this since April and I've kept it really simple so far, so there won't be any pre-decorating or anything like that. But I think I'll just flip through and see which sections, if any, I need to fill out. So this yearly overview is already filled out for the first 6 months. I didn't do the second half of the year because I wanted to make sure that I would like this setup, and I'll decide at the end of June if I'll carry this forward, but I feel like it's pretty likely that I do. I haven't touched these yet, and I'm not going to today either. I have a vague idea that I might still come in with some doodles, but we will just see how that goes. This is a spread that I just put in here. I've known that I wanted to, but I just never got to it. I did the same thing last year. This is the color palette. So basically I choose one highlighter or Tombow color for a month, and then I'll use that as my accent color. And I just like how cohesive it is and how when I'm flipping through the planner, I can just tell when the months have changed by the colors alone. So I went in and put the colors that I used in the take-a-note that I started the year with, and April and May are in this planner. So let me just grab my Post-it here. And this is a trick I learned about in a Facebook group, just if you want to keep the edge nice and clean there. I'm going to be using the Tombow N89 for June. I like this as a kind of blue-green color to start the summer. So I will just put this back here, give it a moment to dry. I can't remember if I said it already, but this sticker and these monthly scripts are all from Planner Monkey Co. I used the exact same scripts last year and it was one of my favorite spreads. I actually have it right here beside me. This is my Wonderland 222. So this planner already had the dividing line. This one I just drew in with pencil. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm probably just going to erase this bottom part. There we go. I will add in the number. This is my Le Pen technical drawing pen in the 003. And now I'll have it for reference. Haven't done anything else in the front of the notebook, and before we get into June setup, I just want to close out May. So I do still do my reflections here, which I already have set up, so I will just fill them in with you guys. In May, I finished reading Sweet Bean Paste, which I enjoyed, and I also started the Anthropocene Reviewed. I have been watching a ton of Jays baseball, and I also finished this season of the Spring Baking Championship on the Food Network. I've been listening to Boy Genius and some Jays or baseball podcasts. I've been creating just little collections and bullet journal spreads throughout these pages, which makes me so happy. I'm just going to call it bullet journal spreads. I'm using the Acroball in the 0.5 here. It's the only pen I've used in here so far for my daily logs. For learning and releasing, I'm just going to fill those out off camera. I've been welcoming spending time with my friends and family. What did we celebrate? Oh, we celebrated Mother's Day in May. Grateful. Oh, I was able to meet up with Lauren and Maria this month. So Maria is at Papery Life on Instagram, and Lauren is Theory of Lauren on Instagram and here on YouTube. I can't multitask here and talk and write at the same time. And I've been really inspired by this planner. have doodles in here. I did a page with watercolor. I have my collections, like I said. It's just been really fun and refreshing to be in here. So we have that filled out, and then I'm going to create a similar spread for June. So when I considered my moving into June spread or my looking ahead spread, I looked at these prompts and they've been working okay for me this year, but when I thought of June, I really wasn't inspired at all by these. So I am going to just go back to the prompts that worked really, really well for me last year. Here, we can go to June again. So what would make this month fun? What would make this month satisfying? And how do I want to feel at the end of the month? And I've been playing around with these layouts. It's been really fun playing with this font, but honestly, right now I'm feeling the spread that I did in February, I think. Yes, I really enjoy this. Although now that I'm looking at it, I will need more space up here for my look ahead or moving into spread. So I think I'll just do some sort of modified version of this using the 2 pages. Let's flip over to June here. And get started. So I've got my color for the month, and I will use a fine liner for the prompts, I think. So let me grab my Le Pen Technical Drawing Pen in the 005. I'll also grab the 01 maybe for titles. Sorry, this is a little bit in real time. I'm sure I'll be speeding it up for you guys when I edit, but 2 down, 2 over, and that's just how I'm going to start it. Yep. So I'll use the pencil here. 2 down, 2 over, and 2 down, 2 over, just so I have a good idea of where I'll start. And that means I won't go past here. Will kind of be my block area, and over here. Okay, that's a good place to start. So moving into and reflections. Okay. So we've got moving into June and June reflections. I think I'll do the reflections side first and just see how much space it takes up so that I can try and balance out the spread. So the way that I did it in February was, I used my light gray Tombow here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I did keep all of the prompts the same length. The longest word is celebrating. And I think I'll probably skip one more line just on this one because I have a lot of space, and let's see how that goes. So this needs to be 1 to 11 spaces long. Okay. And then how many prompts did I need? 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. All right, let's see how this goes. So I could do my highlighting here with my Tombow of the month, but I just found that it feels a little bit busier that way. So I'm just going to use the N89, which is very, very subtle. So we're going to do 5. And I think I said I'm going to skip 3 lines here. Okay, looking at this now, I realize I did mean to skip 4 lines, but so be it. This is fine for this month. I always like to let that dry a little bit. Otherwise, if I write on it too fast, it can be really, really inky because this is a little bit wet underneath. So now that I'm looking at this, I probably could have squished them both onto one spread, but that's fine. Okay, I'm not sure if I want to highlight I guess I will. I'll just highlight the whole line where the questions are going to be just to keep it nice and even looking. I'm going to fill in my prompts. I just like to write one letter per square. I find that if I'm doing a spread where I want it to feel nice and even, that really helps with that. So reading, watching, listening. Okay, I was going to use the 0.5, but it's already feeling too thick. Let me see how the 0.3 goes for me. Sometimes I find that the 0.3 is so fine that it just doesn't write consistently, but I'm gonna try. That is not ideal. Okay, I have a new Artist Loft 003. My Le Pen one has been, oh, it's months old, so maybe this will help. So I'm looking at this, and next time I think I'll either just use the 0.05 or maybe I will use one of my thin gel pens. I have Sarasa Nanos, which are 0.3, but that's okay. I don't hate it. And these prompts, again, are by Zoe Diaz-McLeese. I will link her Instagram below, and she has other prompts that she uses as well. I've just pulled the ones that are speaking the most to me right now. And I'm not going to try that 0.3 here. Maybe I'll try the Sarasa Nano now. Okay, here I have it in the black. So what would make this month fun? I think I'll use all uppercase here as well, but I'm not going to do one letter per box because it would be too long. What would make this month satisfying? And how do I want to feel at the end of this month? I'm going to write June instead of this month so that it fits. So I'm just going to frame these in with my Tombow of the month. This is how I'll keep that kind of color connection. And this is, how do I want it? Yeah, I think I'll do it here. So I'm just going to loosely do it. I don't worry about this being perfect or these lines being straight. I should have gone right to the line for this one. What do you think? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, talk a big game about being fine if it's not perfect, but when I'm careless, I don't love that. All right, we'll do the same thing over here. Okay, there we go. Let me grab my eraser just to get rid of any of these marks that I left. I have white out. Let me see if a white pen kind of just takes away some of the glaring bits. Let me just use white out. Okay, so now we have our moving into June and June reflection spread done. This I will fill out at the end of the month, but this one I can do now. So what would make this month fun? Definitely baseball for me. Both the Jays and my brother plays, so it's nice to get out and enjoy some summer games. So I'll just write baseball. I'm going to write getting together with friends. And I'm going to put reading as well. I have quite a few books on my TBR pile, so hopefully I can start making headway there. What would make this month satisfying? So I'm going to write posting consistently on Instagram and YouTube. Trying to get better at this, guys. Intentional movement. And just finishing up the school year. And how do I want to feel at the end of June? I think I'd like to feel replenished. Okay, yes, I like that spread. It's nice to just sit down and think about the month to come and what that will hopefully look like and feel like for me. And in terms of the setup, I mean, there's not really much for me to do. So, whoops, for my monthly calendars, I keep them very, very basic. I just have some baseball games marked in here in pencil because I don't go to all of them, but it's just nice to know when they are. This is an appointment that I would usually ink in, but I have to email to try and reschedule that. I can put this appointment in though. Use my red here. I wish I remember, yeah, 4:30, jeez. Okay. And because I'm using this in a bullet journal style, I'm not really setting anything up. And when Tess designed these planners, she mentioned that she had to make a choice when it came to the monthlies because her monthlies are obviously throughout the planner, so they're not all together at the front. So she had to make a choice about where she would put the calendar. So she chose to put the calendar right before the first full week of June. So that means that June 1st to 4th is technically still in the May section. So I'm not even going to go ahead and set anything up here yet. I've been using a pretty consistent layout. So if anything, I would just draw these lines in maybe, or this week's setup, but I'm having so much fun just doing it as it comes up that I'm going to continue on. So this isn't the most exciting plan with me, I'm realizing. And I don't have anything to do at the back really. So I just have my when did I last spread, my baseball tracker, which I can update a tiny bit while I'm here. So we won a game here. I like to do the lines for when we won just because it's really satisfying to draw them in. And a dot there. It has been a very rough stretch for the Blue Jays lately. Then I have my social media tracker. So right now it's the 28th. I do not know if I will get this edited and up today. Probably not, but I will try, if not early the next week. And that's it. Then I just have my pen test page. Let me put my Post-it back here. And I am ready for June. I know I've mentioned this already, but I really am enjoying this planner. So far, it has all been pencil, some doodles, the occasional bit of ephemera, but I was looking back through my Take a Note just because that's where I had my color palette chosen for the year. And I had used way more stickers in there, and it was really fun to flip through and to have those stickers jump out at me and kind of give me clues about that day. So I'm going to consider whether or not I want to start including them again in June. It's not a big thing. It's going to be more organic than anything else. I don't want to get sucked back into worrying about what my final product or like the final pages will look like. I am much more interested in the process, in how it feels, in how it makes sense for me to actually use it. And so far that has been pen only, just because I don't feel precious with it. I can just pick it up, jot something down, not worry about any sort of layouts or leaving space or anything like that. So we will see. I have done a balance in the past, and I imagine that's what I will eventually get back to, but that is just something that came up. So we will see what June looks like. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.